Hello, Fenton here. We're going to look at 3 puzzle games on Kongregate that went up in the last couple of weeks. Let me just start by saying this has been an utter nightmare to set up in OBS, so hopefully it was worth the effort. And hopefully there are no technical glitches. I tested it as much as I could, but there we go. We're going to look at Bridged by Robert Alvarez, and we're going to look at Ghost, a Shipwreck, and we're going to look at Frugal Nights by Kongregate Games. They're all on Kongregate right now. They're all good from what I can tell. This won't be a long video, just a quick look, but they're all puzzle games, obviously, and they're all pretty interesting to me. If you liked the format of this, let me know. I'll try and do some more. And if you've got any Flash games, online games, they're not made with Flash anymore, are they? They're all made with Unity these days. Of course, as soon as I start talking to myself, my cat's coming. Yeah, just let me know. If it's your game as well, I don't mind that. I don't mind a bit of self-promotion. Go for it. I'm all for that. Let's make sure my OBS is focused on the right window before we look at Bridged. Now, some of these I have obviously done a bit on. Bridged is... Let me pick the cat up, see if she'll be interested. Say hello, Cammy. Say hello. Got anything to say now? No. Bridged is a block pushing game, if you can't tell the theme of this channel. You have to get out of the room by pushing the blocks. But the blocks, they can go down the gaps and then you can stand on them. It's pretty neat. You can do weird ow, my cat! Please. You can do weird stuff like this. Yeah, you see? How far did I get? I'm not gonna it's cool, right? 17, this one. Oh god. Yeah, these grey ones, they merge together. So you have to also think about that. I guess this one has to go over the thing. Hey. That may have been the tutorial for how to push blocks together. Is this as far as I got? No. Let's at least do the one I haven't done yet. So we need to probably need a vertical block of 2. Is that even possible? It is, just not the way I've done it there. Start again. Does that? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I was going to say, does that fall down or does it merge? It does merge. Then we need to get over this side. Oh yeah, I can't do that, can I? So that one fell down. That's interesting. Why did that fall down? Maybe... I don't know. I need a 2 by 1 or a 1 by 2 to get over to that other side. Will that do? Will that suffice for you? And then we can push... Oh, these are all singles. Oh, no. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I'm not going to get those over. I only need a 3 by 1 to get out now, so maybe just this is fine. Bridged. It's good. I like it. I don't know what these do. Oh, they fall down when you stand on them. Oh, okay, I'm not going to try and tackle that one. Thank you very much. That's good. Obviously, all the link to these on Kongregate are in the description. I know people, developers of these kind of games, they spread them around. Kongregate's always the site I go to, kongregate.com. is always the site I go to for this kind of stuff. I'm not sure really if it's good or worse than anything else. They've not been rude to me directly, and I'm not aware of any scandal. But yeah. Right, now, let me... Actually, I can just close this window, right? Will that break it? Will that break everything? Let me just switch to ghosts, then close this window, which will cause the sound to disappear, and then turn music and sound on and off for these. Right. Whoa, don't look at that. Don't look at that. This one, ghost, exclamation point, a shipwreck. You are a key. And you have to go in the treasure chest. So far, so good. But you have to go in the key from the front, or at least in the orientation that the graphic shows you. Some levels, you control more than one key. And in an interesting twist, every key has to make a move. So if I press right here, if I press the right arrow, or the D key, if you prefer WASD. I don't in this situation, because I'm right-handed and my microphone is on the right-hand side of my keyboard, so I'm just doing that. That was a really lame excuse. Anyway, if I were to press the right arrow here right now, you may think that the key on the top would move right, whereas the key on the bottom would just stay there with the block blocking its view. But no, because not every key can make the move, it's not allowed. But I can go up and then go down like that. Simple enough. So here again, we're going to have to find our way around. Easy. Easy. One of these stumped me quite severely for at least 10 minutes. Keys can push barrels, just in case it wasn't already complicated enough. Barrels can be pushed in long lines. Already broke that one. You're not limited to just pushing one barrel at once. Oh no. There we go. There we go. These things, you can step on them once and then there's a hole. Ah, no. So, that's all the mechanics I've come across so far. And level 11 really threw me for a loop. Because if you put a barrel on a weak square, it doesn't immediately fall down. It's only then the next, if the barrel leaves the square, that it will fall down. Which gives you the problem of now, like, if you go up, then, oh, yeah, you fall down. And I thought this level was a bit rude, actually, because the square to the left of that lower treasure chest is, in fact, a space. I maybe should have shown you the level where you can push barrels into spaces to make solid platforms. Was that 10? Anyway, yeah, you can push a barrel into a space to make a solid platform. Thusly. And so this one was the first level where I was like, I understand all the mechanics, but I don't know how to do it. And it's probably mostly because I didn't really realise that that square there, you can push a barrel into it and make a solid space. Now obviously I've lost a key there. But once I realised that that was the case, the solution actually came quite easy to me. So that's my tip, really, for this one, is that this is a gap that you can fall down, but then you can also use that to make to put a barrel in it. And I don't know if that means that you can presumably fall down this space as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess that should have been obvious, but you know. Now, both of these games, this one and Bridged, do unfortunately force you to solve the level that you're stuck on to progress, but you know. Right, so that's that. I think that's good as well, really, to be honest with you. Last up, we got Frugal Knight. This is something completely different. It's not completely different. You'll notice that a lot of these probably were made for phones. They're probably on Android and iOS and stuff, and they also just go to Kongregate to, like, as marketing. I don't really know. It's not advertising iOS or Android versions to me, from what I have seen. But they might exist. I don't know. Frugal Knight is a bit like a game that I played that was a puzzle platformer, and puzzle platformers, or I'm not going to count. I've decided, no, that's not fair. Puzzle platformers, Braid, Portal, and the thousands and thousands of other ones on Steam, as soon as I see them, my eyes glaze over, because Portal and Braid are the exceptions to the rule for me, that the puzzling is primary. And when you say puzzle platformer, it's basically like, it's platforming and we just threw in a couple of carry the key to the keyhole and move the block to the switch that opens the door because we run out of ideas. If you know of any that aren't that, I'll gladly play them. But for the most part, like Recursed is a puzzle platformer, right? But it has that, you know. Cammy, please. I don't know if the microphone's picking up. Anyway, what's interesting about this is that it's trivial to kill all the enemies, but it's harder. It's much harder to kill all the enemies efficiently, or frugally, if you will. Frugal Knight, etc. So, for example, this level, your tools down here, 1 square in front of you, 2 squares in front of you, the 3 squares directly in front of you, and 1 square further away, they have this cost, 50, 70, 80 and 60 gold. And you get gold for... Oh, you don't get gold for killing enemies, no, you spend gold, and it's doing the level as cheaply as possible. That's like your score. So here, for example, you could just finish the level by whacking the zombies, or the slimes rather, with the really cheap attack each. But that you cost 200 coins, and then there's a silver and a gold for 150 and 130 coins. So 150 would be, I don't know, it would be, I don't even know how to do it. I could do it in 130 easily. I can't even think of how you would do it. Oh, I guess you would do this and then, well, that's 180. Anyway, the most efficient way to do it is to go from the back, do the single attack, which takes 1 HP off of it and puts it in a line, and then lets you do that. And it gets quite interesting. Like, a number of times I was like, well, this is easy, right? That one was easy. A number of times I just thought, well, how could I possibly do that any more frugally than that? Like, that's mental. Is this a good example? This one's a bit of a cheat, because what happens here is when you hit an enemy that's got more than 1 HP, it flies back 1 space. And when you kill an enemy, obviously you lose the space. So what happens here is when you use the attack that hits the 2 squares in front of you, this one gets hit, this one dies, and then this one goes into this space. If you press the right button, it does, at least. There we go. 140. Was it this one? I mean, my major criticism of this game, I suppose, is that really all you want to do is you want to be nice to see the target first. 140 coins, and then once you know it's 140 coins, you can kind of use divination to work out. The cat is going mental. You can kind of work out, really, 140, that's 2 of the 70s, or it's It's only 2 of the 70s, really. But how? Is there another way to get 140 out of this? An 80 and a 60, I suppose, but that doesn't make any sense. Oh, I can't concentrate because my cat is meowing outrageously. Seriously though, how do I get this at 140? I honestly can't concentrate. Can't think about it. Because there's no move that hits around a corner. Everything's just straight lines. It's actually quite difficult. Well, clearly that's not right, is it? I got to hit 2 of them twice and only spend 140 coins doing it. Can you hear that? Let me move the microphone down to her, maybe that'll... Cammy, are you aware that you are a cat? No. She's having none of it. Anyway, you've probably worked this out by now. I can't quite get it. I go from the... Maybe it's something to do with this block here. No, that can't be right. It can't be 2 of the 70s, right? There's just no way. Is it actually 140? Have I just not been able to read properly? Oh, no. What? How's that happened? Okay, well, I retract that criticism then. I must have pressed next stage and not retry. Well, that's embarrassing. So we know that 180 is very inefficient indeed. So now I'm thinking maybe this is alright as some moves. And I just did it in 180. You fool. If I go from here, then I knock them both this way. And then I can go from this side and use a 70 to kill them both. 150. There we go. There we go. Well, that was embarrassing. Okay, so that's good then, because then when you do a level and it tells you it's 180, it doesn't tell you you can do it in 150. It must have been because I've done the levels before. This one was a new one. You just know that you can do it more efficiently. Which is how I came, which just actually makes sense because what I was saying earlier about how when you do a level and it's like, nope, you can do it better than that. And you're like, what? Really? How? And then you look at it and you're like, oh yeah. So I like that. I like that more than I liked, I want to scroll the screen down and actually look at who, there's a game called, I can't remember what it's called, a puzzle platformer where you have to put blocks down to collect coins, and the blocks cost coins, and it was how many coins you could get out of each level. And that my problem with that was that it was very loose. There wasn't as much logic to it as there could have been, because sometimes you could just, you know, wiggle around in the air to get more coins than, you know, like you didn't need a long platform. You could just put one block down and do a series of awkward jumps. And it was more about dexterity for me. But I'd like to. This is a purer form of that idea, where you have to spend money to complete the level, and completing the level is relatively trivial in comparison to working out how to do it efficiently. And the levels seem to be designed well enough that doing it efficiently is actually quite challenging, as we just saw there. So anyway. Those are my 3 Kongregate picks for however long this video, until I do the next one, I suppose. There's not that many of a decent quality go up on Kongregate, to be honest. I think Bridged was maybe 3 weeks ago, so maybe we'll just call this February. I don't know. Or I'll just wait until I find 3 interesting ones. And I want them to be new, to be honest, to get some exposure. Those devs would be very grateful for my 5 subscriber exposure. But anyway, thank you to the subscribers. I do genuinely appreciate it. I'm going to have to go and let the cat out now. So, thanks for watching. Bridged, Ghost, and Frugal Night. Links in the description. Give them a go. They're on Kongregate, at least, and other places. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.